You say I make you nervous, a tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster, a reckoning, you wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh. You think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face, got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you'll break your back to make me feel again, suffocate to make me breathe again, lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came. I stopped asking for forgiveness, cause you should know only fools tread where the angels fear to go, but you keep trying to get too close. Save myself by turning into stone, so save your judgment cause you just don't know. But some things never change, never change. Oh, they say I should feel guilty and change my ways, leaving crumpled bodies in my wake. Swear I didn't mean to make them break, swear I didn't mean to make them break. But they're so delicate and so mundane, and they keep coming like a moth to a flame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You'll break your back to make me feel again, suffocate to make me breathe again, lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came.
And by the time I knew it, it was all gone at that point. Let's take a look. Let's see. How did that go? How did that go? 4.8 mil. So Honestly, it's not. I don't notice that much of a difference between when I'm sitting like on a comp of 30 mil versus a comp of 16. I don't see the difference. Like a lot of people will tell you, well, okay, but you got 2.5 mil across, and now you go from like 1.1 mil in inf and 2.5 mil. Well, if I'm still sitting in range and I'm still being countered, right? And I just gave you the closest trap comp I had, which was basically 5.5 mil range sitting on the front and then 2.5 mil on the back. It doesn't change anything as far as I know. Even though I might have had more infantry at one time, it wouldn't have made that much of a difference, really. The one thing that kind of stood out to me, though, and I think it's kind of the problem, like in general, right, is that it seems like every time I decide that I'm going to go do this kind of shit, right, I'm faced with the reality that you go into a kingdom like that, right, and the reality of the game is you cannot trap like I did 2 years ago. Like you can't. Now, a lot of the guys are like, "Oh, your skill sucks. You're slow." It's like, okay, say I have 5 seconds to swap. Is it really my fault? I think a lot of the people in those rallies right now, and this is really my 2 cents, right? There's gonna come a point when, like, the concept of trapping is dead, and I'll be the first one to tell you right now. I'm pretty sure it's dead. Like you're gonna in a year's time, you're not gonna see people trapping anymore.
What?
You're really not, because the game's power creep has gotten to the point now where you're not going to be able to take a rally without taking a loss. And even if you do take a rally and still come out on top, like on the off chance that you get a counter, right? The odds are now more in favor of the rally lead than it is the trap. Unless you're sitting on 20 plus million troops and T2, which is what I'm going to do, right? Like, I'm not going to sit and do 6 or 7 mil anymore. I'm going to sit on 30 mil across T2. I'm not going to play that game anymore. I'm going to go way over. I'm going to go into like the billion range probably in troops. Because I've looked at it, man, and it's not rational to try and take rallies at 6 mil anymore. I mean, if you're gonna go play that game with guilds like KDE and such, I mean, that's just kind of the way it is. You could probably take rallies and shit like that from mid-sized, mild average leads, but most of them, like, they're a dime a dozen during our KVKs, right? But you don't really, you just can't. You're not gonna see it anymore. It's like, and this is coming from somebody that I've been playing this game for several years, and I can tell you it is a massive difference between like 2019 and now. So much so that, like, I didn't have anywhere near the amount of gear I had. And I've even pulled up reports. I uploaded a couple of shorts that people can watch. But it's, I kid you not, night and day difference between what the game is like now versus what it was like then. And it's kind of sad because IGG's basically given people sanctuary as a way of making them think that this situation isn't as grim as it actually is. But the power creep in this game has gotten so bad that every time they add a new hero skin, and I just grimace my teeth at this point. Like, the game's ruined, and they ruined it. And they're going to continue to ruin the game. To the point where now you're stupid if you think you're going to trap. I mean, I'm just saying that, like, this for me is just kind of like, I've always known this, right? I knew when I went over there that as soon as I started to think I could just take a rally or two, I was doomed. Because I can't swap the gear without them leaving. And because the bot keeps track of everything, I'm at a loss as to how I'm supposed to do anything about it. Like, they basically have a 5-second march time. You move, change gear, do anything like that, they'll leave. So it's like, okay. So basically what they're telling me is, given the current state of the game, it's basically either sit in gear and be online or don't. and try to eat rallies like that. Like, you're just not going to. And I don't know, maybe Dom will have better luck than I will. I didn't get a chance to talk to him, but I'm sure he'll probably have better luck. Maybe some other traps will. I'm sure there'll be people even now that, as I'm talking about this, there'll be people in the comment section that'll argue with me and say, well, you just suck. It's like, you know, you can keep drinking your own fucking Kool-Aid, but like, so after a certain point, you're going to come to the same consensus that I've come to, which is that the bar to entry to take rallies anymore,
What the hell is even that?
like, you're not going to pull that shit anymore.